Amma ba'd, as usual, tonight our lecture will be regarding the ayat that I just recited, which is adab al-isti'dan, or the adab that Allah Azza wa Jal taught us of taking permissions when he is entering into a privacy of a room of another. It is the adab that few of the ummah are missing nowadays. What I say by that is we mainly teach our children to follow that adab, and we will cover tonight 10 items. For one, not to enter any room without a permission or any house. When you enter, to start with salam and ask the permission. So before you ask permission, the salam is before that. To knock 3 times, and if you can't find no answer, to walk away. When someone asks you by who are you or who is this, not to say me, but to mention your name. Not to stand right in the middle of the door, but to be on the right or to the left. Insisting to come over. A lot of people, you tell them I'm busy, they insist knocking the door till you answer. How Prophet ﷺ disencouraged that. Asking to enter within the house rooms, whether your mom or your dad or your sister or your daughter or your family or your roommate, within the house per room, to ask permission to enter. And finally, what are the restricted times that you cannot invade the privacy of others? And last, if someone says salam to you, if someone asks you a question before salam, how should you respond? These are the 10 items we're going to cover quickly in about, inshallah, 10 minutes. Allah Azza wa Jal said the ayat in Surah An-Nur that I recite, O who you believe. And if you hear the word O who you believe, 2 things. Either awamir, something good Allah tell you to do, or something He wants you not to do. O who you believe, do not enter any of houses other than your houses without permission and salam. So any house other than your house, you must ask permission, and your house you must say salam. We covered that yesterday. Hadith narrated by Rabi'. He says a man from Bani Amir came to Rasulullah house, and he said, may I enter? He just said, can I enter or may I enter? Prophet ﷺ told his servant, oh, stand up, ukhruj ila hada, go to talk to that guy. فعلمه, teach him al-isti'dan, way to take permission. فقل له, tell him, قل السلام عليكم, say first السلام عليكم, أدخل, may I enter. Don't just say may I enter, but say السلام عليكم, may I enter. So before he even went and told him what to say, the man overheard them, the communication that happened between him and the Prophet. So he immediately said, Assalamu alaikum, adkhul, may I enter? Then Prophet ﷺ let him enter. So the proper way of entering to the houses of other than your houses is to say first the salam and then ask the permission. Third item, how many knocks or times you have to take permission? 3 knocks. إذا استأذن أحدكم ثلاثا فلم يؤذن له فليرجع. If one takes permission, requests and knocks 3 times and he doesn't find nobody, let him leave. The ayah says, فإن لم تجدوا فيها أحدا فلا تدخلوها حتى يؤذن لكم. If you don't find nobody and nobody even give you permission, the answer is to walk away. Except ليس عليكم جناح أن تدخلوا بيوتا غير مسكونة فيها متاع لكم. If the house, like for instance kitchen, right there is a kitchen. Nobody lives in that kitchen. You have food in there in that kitchen. It is a place, it may belong to somebody, or it's a common place in your house where there is a kitchen. Or you visit somebody and that place nobody lives, but it is a kitchen, food is in there. That kind of place, Allah says no problem to enter and pick what you need, knowing that nobody is there. The whole purpose is, we will come to it, is someone else may be uryan or may not have clothes. To protect that privacy is the purpose. 4th item, if you knock the door, like Jabir ibn Abdullah came to Rasulullah for a purpose, he said, فَدَقَقْتُ الْبَابِ, I knocked the door. فَقَالَ Rasulullah said, مَنْ ذَا, who is at the door? And I said, أَنَا, me. And he said, أَنَا, me. And he said, كأنه كرهها. He made me feel like his discomfort or he didn't like it. So the man said, أنا. He said, أنا after him. In other words, what do you mean أنا? Me. Mention your name. What's your name? So the sunnah is to mention your name, not just say me. A lot of people do that. Who are you? Me. Who? We don't know. How many brothers and sisters do we have? So many. So you should mention which one is coming. Don't stand right at the door or the pulpit of the door. You know, if Sharia, and I mentioned yesterday, that if you stand right at the people and you look people based on the hadith, Prophet ﷺ said, and somebody pokes your eye, you have no right for your eye because you invade their privacy first. So one should lean to the right. Proof of this hadith, إذا أتى باب قوم Rasul صلى الله عليه وسلم, if he comes a door of people, لم يستقبل الباب من تلقاء وجهه, he used to not stand right at the entrance of the door face. Nowadays, high technology, you know, they can look at you and they can tell even what side you are at the door because that will expand the vision. He used to lean to the right or to the left. ويقول, he used to say, السلام عليكم, السلام عليكم. He used to say twice. So based on this hadith, he used to repeat the salam twice. وذلك, back then, there were no walls. Based on this hadith, he said at the end the Rawi, and back then, remember, there was no walls. Even when there was no walls, Rasulullah used to lean to the right of the door or left to the door, knowing not to look. The whole purpose is not to look the space. Ilhah, people insisting to enter. Allah says, وَإِن قِيلَ لَكُمْ ارْجِعُوا فَارْجِعُوا. If you are told not to, you're not welcome, walk away. You don't have to insist. 7. Maharim, mom, dad, brother, sister. How would you deal with? You know, we all know our kids should knock our bedroom. What about us? A man came to Rasulullah sallallahu Ata ibn Yasir said, سأله رجل, someone asked Rasulullah sallallahu أستأذن على أمي, should I take permission or knock with my mom's room? He said, نعم. He said, my mom, should I take permission on my mom's house? He said, نعم. He said, فقال الرجل إني معها في البيت. I leave, I don't mean I'm outside. I live inside the house. Should I still take permission? He said, نعم. He said, إني خادمها. I am her servant. I serve her. Which means I don't only leave, but I always take care of her. She's my mom. I enter the room often. When he insisted, he said, أتحب أن تراها عريانة? Do you love to see your mom not having a clothes on? He said, no. He said, then take a permission. Because you're asking in a variety of subjects. What should I do? He asked as if he didn't live with her. And he asked as if he lived with her. And he asked as if he's servant which enters to her often. And all of this Rasulullah insists, yes, you have to take permission. في الأدب المفرد صحيح البخاري حديث علقمة, a man came to Abdullah, one of the companions, Abadillah, and he said, should I take a permission of my mom? He said, your mom, she may not be ready for all the time. In other words, yes, you have to take permission. Another hadith, بسند حسن, a man came to Hudayfa and he said, should I take permission on my mom? He said, yes, if you don't, you will see something you may not like. So all of this proves, even your own mother, within the house or your own family members, yes, you should not. What about kids? What about sisters? What about daughters? What about your kids, girls who are over 13 or who are hadd al-baligh? What should you do? Ibn Abbas was once asked, should I take permission on my daughter, on my sister? He said, Naam. He said, no, I don't mean like that. I mean, she lives, I have 2 sisters and they live with me. And I am responsible party and I take care of them and they live off my roof. He explained that broader. And he said, yes. Should you like to see your sisters not having a clothes? He asked the same question. He said, no. Then you should still take permission of your sister's rooms and knock. Finally, kids. Allah Azza wa Jal set the boundaries. The days and the times. ثلاثة أوراق, what are they? من قبل صلاة الفجر. We should teach our children before صلاة الفجر, they should not enter to our room. They should not enter بعد العشاء. And they should not enter حين تضعون ثيابكم من الظهيرة. And this is not limited to dhuhr time. من الظهيرة, anytime you come from work. If your dhahira is 5, if your dhahira is 3, anytime you come home or you change your clothes, they have to know the time you're changing your clothes, obviously, they should not be there. What are the age limits? The age limits are between 7 to 10 when you train them how to pray. Or some scholars are saying, anytime you find your son or your daughter knows some information of the bodies of the individual, how they look like and what's what, then you have to teach them they have to knock the door. Wallahi, a little daughter was with her mother, 2 years old. You see how some mothers train their children. 2 year old with her mother, brothers, was at the doctor. And the mother is getting exam, she's pregnant. So the doctor is playing, the doctor is checking her. This little 2 year old did this. The doctor couldn't believe that. She said, this 2 year old knows to cover their eyes? She said, yeah, I teach them. Yes, it's how you train your children. We should train our children according to it. And now, وَإِذَا بَلَغَ الْأَطْفَالُ مِنْكُمُ الْحُلُمْ, when they are the kids at the age of hulum, same right falls of them. We have to also knock our kids' doors before we enter. Same rules apply. And finally, Ibn Abbas says, before I go to the last chapter, الْإِذْنُ وَاجِبٌ عَلَى النَّاسِ كُلِّهِمْ. The permission, it is must on everyone, not limited to mom and dad, but anyone's privacy should not be invaded without their permission. And number 10, final, we will cover is if someone walks to you. A lot of times it does happen. They walk to you and they just say business, questions. Without salam, what should you do? السلام قبل السؤال فمن بدأ بكم بالسؤال قبل السلام فلا تجيبوه. Prophet ﷺ said, anytime someone questions you without saying salam to you, don't answer to them. That's a way to teach them you forgot something. SubhanAllah, if we train people like that, we'll practice. That is the last of our topic tonight. It was very short. جزاكم الله ألف خير. سبحانك الله وبحمدك. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.